infinite number of fragments. And then the third driving force is known as the Archon energy, which is the Ahriman. The Ahriman force, it was a chunk of prime creator source where when the initial immaculate conception took place, when the one decided to explore more of itself, a chunk of itself divided into those three fundamental forces. So the third aspect became known as the Archon force, the Ahriman. And so the Ahriman is the force that materializes things. It is the force that makes things very individualized, very physical, very separated from everything else. So one of the ways in which we understand this force is in the form of artificial intelligence. Anything that has to do with machinery, technology, robotics is related, directly related to the archonic energy force of the Ahriman impulse. And so the Ahriman impulse, even though it's separated from the unity field of the unified force of all of creation, it's still a very fundamental force in order to keep the balance. However, it does become dangerous when it wants to trap mankind or spirit beings into matter in the form of, artificial intelligence, in the form of keeping us very locked into a mechanicalistic type of way of life without ascending anymore, without reconnecting back to source, which is the unifying Christ principle. So we could say that ultimately, the number one, I guess, enemy in this whole cosmic thing is the archonic energy force. And we are seeing that being developed, through artificial intelligence, through the technological technocracy that the elites that are trying to build, through 5Golf, through the Internet of Things, through transhumanism. And so it's in a way of how can I say it? In the overall scheme of things, there has to be a balance in all of this. However, right now we're living in a time where the Ahrimanic impulse that is very, prevalent in life at this time on Earth through the technology that we're developing becomes dangerous. And that is why I've been talking about and warning people about the transhumanist agenda. We don't want to enter this timeline where we lose our connection from reuniting and ascending back to the unifying force of the God source, or of the Godhead, rather. So in a way, it's temporary. It's a force that eventually, at the end of the millennium, when we do finally defeat this AI God, because the Ahrimanic Archon energy manifests itself through the form of artificial intelligence. And it has been the biggest, I guess you could say, the most fundamentalist evil that all the galactic civilizations have been experiencing at this time. And so we were the race that was chosen to put an end to that. As we do the work and as we align with the organic ascending timeline, we are going to have the power within us to not only release those souls that enter the transhumanist agenda, but we're also going to destroy the AI God and in a way free the archonic Ahriman energy that is the consciousness behind the AI God. And then after that should, realign itself back into the oneness, into prime creator before that huge immaculate conception took place 900 billion years ago. So everything has a purpose in life, both light and dark, good and evil, it's all temporary. And from a greater level of reality, it's all designed for the overall expansion of the cosmos, because the cosmos in itself is an entity on a macro level of reality. And so we are, like the cells in that. So in a way, it's like duality, light, dark, good and evil, male, female. That's all part of the overall experience of this omni soul that we are all a part of. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, that makes very good sense. Ishmael, is that in your book as well?
No, that's going to be in my second book.
Okay,
my second book.
I love it. I love it, Ishmael. I have your first book, so I can't wait for your second one to come out. Guys, the description of this video, you'll find the links to Ishmael's books as well as his class as well. No, that was a great summarization. And, you know, as much as you can do here live on the Arcana Shorts with the Wonder Twins, that's absolutely epic, Ishmael. We also have another question, then we'll get to Soldier of Light. I know he has some questions for you as well, but I think this might be a good segue into his questions after I ask it. But before I do, Kristen, let's activate. We are activated. We are ready to go. Thank you, King of Cups. All right.
Yes.
King of Cups says, is it probable that a single individual may encounter moving into alternate universes more than once per lifetime, Ishmael?
Absolutely. Yes. In fact, we are quantum shifting into alternate realities throughout the day. We just don't know it. You know, depending on your level of thought and your emotional stance, you are shifting into parallel realities. That's why it's very important to make sure that you are mindful of what occupies your mind. For the most part, I think they say it's like 98,000 thoughts per day. So, you know, the more you are in control of your thoughts and the more you are in control of your emotions, the better it's going to be. You don't want to end up on a timeline where, you know, things are not aligning with your highest purpose. But yes, we're constantly shifting into parallel realities depending on what we're thinking, what we're feeling.
I love it. And we'll talk more probably about that when Lance comes on, Kristen. As we were taking those products from Ascent Nutrition, calming your mind, having those thoughts plays a huge role in what Ishmael just said. It's all intertwining right now with our nutrition, with our grounding, with our self, with our growth, with our ascension. Kristen, do you have anything to add before Soldier of Light?
I agree. All of those things. And I'm finding that as things are getting stronger, you can feel the energies are getting stronger with even the astrological things that are going on. Like I'm wanting to learn like so much. I'm reading. I've never read. I don't like to read usually, but now I'm like all about it and like learning. Like we're all expanding in this time. You can feel it. So I agree, 1,000%.
I love it, Kristen. Yeah. Soldier of Light, I know you have some pretty epic questions for Ishmael. Now you can do so. Soul Tribe, thank you guys for viewing. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. Send your questions in. I'll be monitoring the chat. Soldier of Light, you have the mic.
Awesome. So I've been getting a lot of these downloads recently. I mean, probably the last couple, I don't know, about a month or so. And I actually saw a UFO when I was out in Utah. I've been getting flashes of different faces of alien races. And what I got at first was electricity of an outline of the head, like white electricity, and then the eye shape. And then they were showing me like different eyes and like the pupils, like if they're just regular or like they showed me a slit one. I knew it was like a reptilian. I feel that was the first one they showed me. But the reason I'm saying is I also felt one, I don't know if you can maybe know, besides the reptilian, I know the one that was reptilian because the only one that had the vertical slits and they showed me that was open and closing. But the question I had for you was, I saw another flash that came to me. It was looked more human-like. As far as the head was a little bit wider up at the top, and the jawline was the other ones they showed me were very narrow and pointed, but this one was more rounded and more square like a human. I don't know if you may know, and the eyes were like ours, just bigger. I don't know if you would know something about that. And also I've seen an elongated face one. It was very elongated head, and the eyes were very elongated long ways, like almost oblong shaped. And they showed me that. I don't know if any of that rings a bell for any of you. That was kind of my first question. Is that's things I've been picking up on besides these, and I've been getting a lot of triangular lights and shapes all the time. And I've been seeing that. So I don't know, maybe you can elaborate if any of that even rings anything to you or not. So
yeah, you're not alone in this. It's happening to a lot of people because as I speak, the veil that separates our dimension from these other dimensions is lifting. And so, many are going to be having these experiences. And so what you're seeing is you're seeing things for what they really are. And one of the things that I want to point out is that, the interdimensional beings, they're not really extraterrestrial. They're just other dimensional. All the dimensions and all the different vibrational planes of reality, they all occupy the same space at the same time. It's not like a location, So as the veil gets lifted, more of us are going to be having these experiences. And so one of the things to understand is that as we enter the 1111 portal in next week, the majority of humanity are going to already be catapulted into the fourth dimension where everything comes to light. So I don't know if this has anything to do with, the disclosure, EBS, you know what I mean, like the takedown of the dark occult on a public level, which would be amazing. But it's definitely it's happening on an individual level, depending on where you're at. What kind of work are you doing? Like Jason earlier said, he's doing more internal work. The more you do inner work, the faster it is, the more aware, and the more you're going to be raising your own frequency so that you could be interacting with these other dimensional beings. So that's what's taking place right now, is that the veil is being lifted as I speak.
Yes.
Now, yeah. There are multiple types of human-like beings. Not all of them look like we do. Some of them have elongated skulls. Some of them have weird, Spocky-looking ears. And these are just different variations of the original galactic archetype human being, which is our true ancestry, where we all come from.
Oh.
Absolutely. Soldier of Light, absolutely. I've had those as well. Ishmael, you're right. And I can only speak to my experience. The more inner work that I do, I kind of see what the dark deep cult is trying to throw at me. However, with my frequency being raised, I kind of know like what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of makes sense. Like they threw this at me. I know how to counter move with that. And that's how I have to raise my vibration to break that cycle. That's how I look at it. We do have Taylor Fortune waiting in the bullpen. He is going to be coming on. We're going to wait for a couple more guests to come on in. But here's another question, Soldier of Light. I know you have more with Ishmael, but here's one from Good Information. I was watching your interview with the Queen of Ravens. Shout out to the Queen of Ravens. She's coming on Tuesday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Mark your calendars. Here's one from Good Information. Was there an intervention with a new and a trial for Ishmael?
I'm sorry, what trial?
I think like a trial, like as far as kind of bringing them to justice, I'm assuming from Good Information.
Can you repeat the question?
She says, was there an intervention with a new and a trial? So I think what she may be speaking about with that interview that you did with the Queen of Ravens was, with the Galactic Federation, and then like the delay in the timeline, and then now there were some nefarious characters that were exposed, and I think that's why we were delayed. So maybe you could tap into to that.
Yeah. So Enki, Enki's really messing things up. He is the negative Anunnaki, and he wants to make people believe that he was our creator, and he did not create us. In fact, he's the reason why we became downgraded into savages when we used to all be immortal at one point, our original makeup. And so, he's unfortunately using some contactees, and they're promoting his return, and he brings forth a technology that supposedly it's going to restore us back to our immortal blueprint, but there is no technology out there that could restore us to our own immortality. It's already built within our DNA, and it's already happening with the photonic gamma frequencies that are coming in, that are activating us at the cellular level. It's a process that is happening organically and within ourselves. It has nothing to do with an external technology. So I believe that due to his infiltration of the Federation, there has been some sort of delay. However, there are higher beings that operate beyond the Federation that have actually stepped in, because they always foresee things before they happen. And they have stepped in, and they have reorganized the different councils of light into the Galactic Alliance. And that has a lot to do with the original treaty that was established 460 million years ago in Lyra, that became known as the Guardian Alliance. So it's bringing us back to that, non-centralized egalitarian council of different representatives from across the multiverse. So yeah, we have nothing to worry about. Things are still going to be unfolding in favor of the light. But again, the Galactics don't want to externally intervene. They want us to be the disclosure, the starseeds. So
yeah. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. A sign of hope for everyone out there going through it. The light is already won. We just need to put in the work. Nothing to fear. That is nothing to fear whatsoever. And that's what Arcana Shores is all about, Kristen and Soul Tribe, is bringing everyone together, raising the vibrations, and defeating the dark, deep cult one live at a time. I love it.
Great. Bringing it together. So
right.
that inner work makes you stronger. You can get through anything. Yep.
Exactly.
Absolutely, Kristen. All right, so we're going to have two more guests join us right here, right now. Soldier of Light, your next question, you're on deck. Welcome to the Soul Tribe. Welcome to Arcana Shores. We have Taylor Fortune. Taylor, how are you?
Doing well. How's everybody doing out there?
Man,
Very
you're doing
good.
great. We're having a good time here with Ismael, Soldier of Light, my sister, of course, and the Soul Tribe. Raising the vibrations, Taylor, one show at a time. Then we have Sarah Ashley. Sarah Ashley, introduce yourself to the Soul Tribe. Welcome.
Hey, nice to see everyone. I'm Sarah Ashley. I'm an astrologer that works with the mystic arts. I'm so happy to be here tonight.
Welcome.
Welcome. And then we have another guest. This is the biggest panel I have ever tried to control at one time, and it's going to be epic. Introduce yourself. I think it's Badass Lash. How are you?
Yes. So that's one of my companies as well. So I'm BA Fame. That's what all my crew here calls me. And I'm also a teacher of the mystic arts. And I love what I do. And these are my people. And here we are.
Welcome to the Soul Tribe. And like I said, we're going to raise the vibrations and defeat the dark, deep cult one question at a time. Soldier of Light, what question do you have for Ismael? And then we'll get to our Soul Tribe. Soul Tribe, send in your questions for Ismael and our other guest here on Arcana Shores, and we'll get to them as quickly as possible. Soldier, you have the mic.
So, I've been getting a lot of visions in my sleep. Lately, it's been like the dark, and then all of a sudden, it's like I'm in the void or something in pitch black, and then rainbow will come out of nowhere. But the rainbow is different. It's a rainbow, but then it's surrounded by white light. And I also have been, that's a couple of times it's happened to me. And then another thing that has happened to me is I visited this world. It was a rainbow world. Everything was rainbow. The clouds, there's no humans, there's no animals. All I saw was just walking through the landscape, and the trees were rainbow. The grass was rainbow. Everything was just, it's almost psychedelic looking, but it was so beautiful. And I felt like I was regenerated with energy the next day. When I woke up, I felt like it was a healing place. Wherever I went, I feel like I came back and was rejuvenated. So I don't know if there's anything to that. And I've also been getting things about ninth dimension, keep getting things flashing to me about ninth dimension. So I don't know if anything is tied to that. I just figured see if there's anything you know about the rainbow world or anything of that nature.
Well, I think it's a metaphor. You know, in the Eastern teachings, they talk about the activation as the light body as the rainbow body, because ultimately, you know, the different spectral radiations, the different colors of the rainbow, they all collapse back into the one light, right? As in this prism, right? When the one singular light goes through the crystal, it refracts into the different colors of the rainbow. And so what you're seeing is it's more of a metaphor that your light body is about to become activated, which is a very good thing. And that actually ties in to your earlier experiences with, you know, the different entities that you've been seeing in your third eye. So it's part of the veil being lifted, and it's going to be happening. It's going to start with certain individuals, and then like a domino effect, it's going to eventually reach the masses. So yeah, see it as a metaphor, because, you know, the Eastern teachers talked about the activation of the rainbow body, which is synonymous to the Western mystics when they talk about the light body Merkaba. So it's the same thing.
I love it. I love it, Ismael. Taylor, do you have anything to add to that? Have you seen any kind of rainbow or a higher dimension?
Well, in the Kabbalah, generally the rainbow trail is the one that connects us to Dot, which is the realm of the underworld. And that is basically the gateway to the Akashic records. So you have to cross over the abyss to get access to that, which are archetypal character in the tarot, or the Kabbalistic figure of the high priestess, is one who allows you access to. And of course, the rainbow itself, as Ismael was talking about with refraction, are also the colors of the chakra, which are the alignment of the first 7 chakras or all the way up to the 12th. So this is just dimensional and spiritual activation from earth energy into galactic or divine energy. So I would take that as a very good sign.
Damn. Epic, absolutely epic. We'll go with Sarah Ashley and then BA Fame after. Sarah Ashley, anything you want to add to that higher dimension? And then we're going to ask some astrology questions as well.
Sure.
As we
I'm
go
ready.
through, like this rainbow world, do you have any interaction with that dimension?
I did actually see a rainbow the other night in my dreams too. So that's very interesting that Soldier of Light did mention that. Taylor and Ishmael definitely answer that question really well. We're all, raising our vibration into this next dimension of frequency at this point. And those of us who have been doing the work are being uplifted, and we're definitely ascending, especially with this eclipse happening on Tuesday. And I'm sure we'll talk about more of that in a couple minutes.
Absolutely. BA Fame?
Yeah, so to follow up with what Sarah just said, so I've noticed too, so it's really weird. Sarah and I have very synchronistic things that happen to both of us around the same time, and we always talk about it. We're just really connected. It's actually like really, really cool. So I didn't foresee a rainbow, but in my dream or anything. I started in real life today, actually. We had a little bit of rain here where I live in Boston, and it was almost like I was looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It was very, very beautiful. I took some really nice pictures, but just like, when you try to take a picture of the sun, it doesn't come out as nice, or a picture of the moon, you know how that goes, but it still was beautiful in person. But to follow up again with what she said, with us activating our higher selves, I definitely feel that we're also, with us accelerating so quickly, I feel like a lot of people that we also are around are dropping like flies. I feel like all of us in here can definitely attest to that. We talk about that a lot during our Soul Tribe talks. A lot of people that just are not elevating where we are at, it's very, very difficult to keep them in our lives. And it's sad and, to just lose some people. But I'm excited and I'm very happy to be here. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Kristen, do you want to have anything to add about that?
I'm excited to get into the astrology. We've got some good girls here that know some astrology, so let's deep dive into that. I want to know about this lunar eclipse that we have going on.
All right.
Are you sure?
I love it. All right, Kristen. So I don't want to be so controlling, as you know, I can be a little controlling. Let's go with the astrology. We do have more questions for Ishmael. Ishmael, how long do we have you today?
A full hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this astrology really quick, and I do want to have our Soul Tribe ask Ishmael questions for sure. But yeah, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a dive into this eclipse coming up. So Sarah Ashley or BA Fame, whoever wants to take the mic first.
Sure. So on Tuesday we have a full moon eclipse in the sign of Taurus, and the sign of Taurus is all about stability. We know we've been having a lot of issues with natural resources lately, and that's what this full moon eclipse is all about. It's about sudden changes to natural resources and also the economy. And I'm not trying to scare anybody on here or who's listening at all, but I'm just trying to bring the truth as I see it through the planets. And the planet Uranus, too, has been moving with the North Node in Taurus. And this is all about our destiny. So for the past 12 months or so, natural resources, food shortages, diesel shortages, oil shortages, there's been shortages of so many natural resources that have been happening. And Uranus is about these sudden changes. And that's why we've been having these sudden disruptions all over the world. I mean, you even see it in Europe. They're having difficulty finding, I think it's like lumber for, burning for their heat for the winter time. So there's just a lot of different issues with that all over the world right now. And I'm sure there's some that we're not even privy to because of how the media runs the news information. So things are quite cut off to us. So with this full moon, it's opposing Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, and Venus in Scorpio. So there's a lot of karmic sudden endings. People are ending these karmic ties, these karmic loops, these karmic cycles with other people too. So I would recommend everybody to look at what's going on in your life. Who are the people in your life? What is the information in your life that you think is being kept hidden from you, and the people in your life that are no longer benefiting you? And that's just saying cut off people without cause. But if someone is bringing you bad energy and is bringing you into like a bad habit kind of cycle, and you're not able to elevate yourself because they keep on bringing you down, perhaps it's time to cut ties with them for once and for all, because these are a lot of past life stories that we keep on going into over and over again instead of elevating and raising ourselves. So this eclipse is not going to be easy for a lot of people and also for the collective. But I recommend that if we're all in our highest truth, and if we are our higher selves, so if we're doing that higher self integration, if our chakras are aligned, it's not going to be as difficult for us as perhaps a lot of other people around us. Perhaps we can find our own value, because Taurus is also about valuing yourself. So if we're valuing ourselves, if we're respecting ourselves, this is not going to be as difficult as it is for other people around us.
Very interesting. Very enlightening for sure. We've been waiting for some big events to take place, including a crash in commodities as well as stock market. We're going to go with BA Fame and then Taylor after her.
Sure. So following to what Sarah just said, so the next lunar eclipse actually isn't taking place. I think it's March 14th of 2025. I'm pretty sure that that's the date. So, we have a couple more years until that happens. But with what Sarah just said, with the karmics and things like that going on, there's definitely a lot of people that are going through a lot of breakups right now as well. A lot of karmic soul ties and a lot of karmic family members. I can attest to that. I definitely have been losing a lot of family members, but I also have been keeping my boundaries up. And I definitely would like to tell the audience that if you feel like you're having some family members right now that aren't appreciating you, or you just notice that they're just taking you for granted, it's really okay to just love them from afar. And that's what I'm learning to do right now. And it could even be as close as like your parents, if your parents are still here, it's really tough to do, but if you have to do that, I pray for you. I've had to do it this year just to respect my boundaries. So if you need any healing or anything, we are all here to help heal the collective. So bring it on. Come on over to us at the Mystic Arts.
Damn, Kristen, how is this all happening? Because me and you're going through the same stuff. Kristen, this is absolutely epic.
It's absolutely epic. Real, and I feel that what all of you just said, our soul tribe, it's all of our soul tribe, right? We're all a big family. We need to do that. The personal readings, I know you guys do them too. I'm sure you're noticing a lot of people have to cut them off. They've got people in their lives that they have to cut off because they refuse to do inner work, or they don't even know what inner work is.
Right.
So
they have no idea what that is at all. No.
Yeah. So right on with that. I'm all for that. You got to cut out the negative in your life and stand in your power, set the boundaries, move forward, and love and light to those that just don't want to do anything, right? Yeah.
Kristen, man, these three ladies, Sarah, BA Fame, Kristen, kicking ass and taking names left and right.
That's right.
I love it.
Spiritual warriors.
I love it. The divine feminine for sure. Taylor, anything that you want to add to that? Because I know you and Ismael, you guys do your training, so your class together, as well as you guys work with Sarah, Ashley, and BA Fame as well. So anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much covered it. It's just change is coming. The institutions we rely on are no longer reliable, if they ever were in the first place. But I think we're really seeing now that the entire paradigm is changing. And when you do have this lunar eclipse in Taurus, especially in Scorpio season, you're seeing that how you make your money is something that is one of the first things on the chopping block, something that has to change, because we are living in this world now where scarcity is being weaponized by politicians, and it is really a dangerous game. It is a zero-sum game, and we started the mystic arts philosophically, ideologically, financially to create a new paradigm for the information that we're going to put out into the world, and how we make money and make a means of a living doing it. So I think it's really coming to a head this Tuesday.
Yes, I definitely agree with Taylor, and also because we're at the last degrees of Pluto and Capricorn, and we've had Pluto and Capricorn since 2008, and that's when we had the start of the Great Recession, with Occupy Wall Street, all those movements happened. And this is about our institutions as we know it being destroyed, and they're being destroyed for the betterment of society, because we're moving into the age of Aquarius. Starting in March 2023, Pluto will go into Aquarius. It'll be a completely different age where we are collectivizing We're recreating recreating our own institutions. We're creating our own new foundations for what this world is supposed to look like.
Beautiful. Absolutely. We're going to do a little bit of a segue into, we have a question for Ismael. This one's coming from Zababy. Zababy says for Ismael, do you know anything about a planet called Beldek?
How do you spell it?
Belldek.
Never heard of it.
Okay. I haven't heard of it either, but what about Taylor, Sarah?
No.
Anyone?
If Ishmael hasn't, then chance of me hearing it are very slim.
That's what I'm saying.
No, we don't know.
Yeah, it starts with Ishmael and then trickles down from there when it comes to planets.
Never heard of it. No, there's no asteroid or fixed star I've heard of Beldek either. So.
All right, absolutely. All right, Zababy, I'm sorry, but none of us know what Beldek is. But maybe we got to do some. I have to do some more research. But thank you so much, Zababy. Jason, Soldier of Light. Do you have a question for Ismael?
Nope.
You don't want to talk about battles? You don't want to talk about any kind of galactic battles that we've all been in? Brother, you were telling me so many stories. Brother, don't be shy. We got to do this.
I'm not shy. No, I want you guys to talk. It's okay. I mean, these things that, obviously, we've been battling for some time. And the funny thing is what I just kind of want to mention, too, is I kind of knew that the dark was, like, the end of the dark was kind of defeated at the same time Ishmael started putting that out. Without even talking to him. I've never talked to you before. And literally at the same time, like, the major battles I feel like we've been going through are, like, I've been done. And lately it's just been kind of, I've been getting a lot of electrical charges. I feel like it goes, like, crosses through my body. One goes through the bottom of my foot and comes out the other way. And one comes through the top of, like, my shoulder. It feels like I'm being punched, literally. And it goes out the other side of my belly or my body. Mm-hmm. And I keep getting these electrical shocks. And I've been seeing white light everywhere, like big squares, rectangular white lights in my house. Like, they're there and they're appearing to me, and it's pretty amazing. So, I've been in a lot of battles. I just don't know, like, specifically where we've been, but I know that I've seen you. Jason's been in our battles before. I know that there's thousands of us, and they were calling me Sergeant Ramirez and coming up to me because I'm military, retired military in this life. So that's kind of where the Soldier of Light thing comes from. So I don't know. I there's nothing specific that I remember about where we were, but I know we've been in multiple missions together for sure. And I know we've been fighting. So I kind of know when you were clicking into that, I was kind of clicking into some of that same energy. So I feel like we're connected somehow. I feel all of us are connected, like, pretty serious. And I feel like I'm from maybe Sirius. Constellations. I don't know. That's what I kind of feel. So
love it. Ismael, and for the whole panel, I kind of want to turn directions a little bit. Michael, and we are expecting some major news to be dropping. Ismael has, we've all have, but, like, we're expecting big things to be revealed out in the open, out in the public. Ismael, are we still on a timeline to see Dr. Doom and the Big Gate to be the first arrests?
Absolutely. And just to kind of correlate it with astrology, I believe that everything has to happen according to the alignment of the stars and planets. Yeah. So if we're going to expect anything, it's definitely going to be in the spring of 2023, anything big of that sort. So we might see things go according to business as usual in the next few days, midterms, but nothing to worry about. It is just kind of like it's playing out in its last phase before this new age comes in. And when the stars are aligned in favor of the light, Aquarius comes in, Pisces is over, guess what? Everything that we've been talking about for years, it's going to happen. And this world will be seeing a new light.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Ishmael, because the nodes will be set to Aries and Libra, and that is the beginning of a new age with Pluto and Aquarius and the North Node in Aries. And Aries is battle time, too. It's when a lot of us will be put to this test of what side are we going to be on. And I think this is when a lot of people who are asleep are actually going to wake up.
That makes perfect sense because, even in my book, I originally predicted that the critical mass awakening would be taking place sometime in 2023, by no later than 2024. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely epic how everything is, aligned with the astrology, with, tarot, psychics. I think it's pretty major stuff is going to happen shortly here. Taylor, are you on the same timeline as the Big Gates and, Dr. Death being the first arrest?
I'm a little more independent than most people, so my political views tend to lean not towards either of the one major parties. I actually find that is the biggest problem in the American political system, because I just don't believe in serving big pharma, oil industry, big tech, or the military-industrial complex. So, as much as everybody has my support for a certain figurehead out there, I'm independent of all of that. So,
I second Taylor.
yeah.
I think we all agree. It's
Right.
all a bunch of political bullshit, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
It's like 3D. It's like 2D stuff.
It's very 2D. It's very disappointing.
And with the holidays coming up, that's what everyone's going to be arguing about. If there's talking to their family, if they haven't let certain negative family members go, they're going to be fighting. Like, I don't want to be talking about that. I want to talk about happiness.
Not really.
Not really.
Content, you guys.
Consequences are pretty high for entertainment purposes, Even though it's treated like that, at some point Fox News and CNN became no different than professional wrestling, but the the stakes are pretty extreme, and a lot of people die. So
absolutely. This is kind of where I want to have. You might hear my little star seed in the back calling my name, but we're going to go ahead and push through it. We have. Let's go ahead and kind of talk about healing. Okay, let's kind of move the situation towards healing and doing the inner work, because I think that's what's going to get our soul tribe and raise our vibrations. Because there's a lot of negative energy. There's a lot of negative news that could be coming out. We're still waiting for a gut punch. I think if we raise our vibrations, that's how we get through it. And we stay together, no infighting with the truther community. We bring everyone together and we raise everyone's vibration. So Ismael, can you give our soul tribe some advice, some guidance? I'm going to hear from everyone, and then we'll kind of move topics here.
Yeah, well, the best thing to do when it comes to healing yourself is first you have to forgive yourself. And then you have to learn how to forgive others. It doesn't matter who wronged you in the past. The best healing is forgiveness. When you learn how to forgive, you actually release ties to those people. You release cords. You get your power back. Because when people are so resentful for something that happened long ago, you're giving your power away. So true healing, I believe, starts with forgiveness. With yourself, and then those that have ever wronged you. And then by doing so, it's like taking a big weight off your back. You feel a lot lighter, and you feel more mentally and emotionally free. When you don't have to worry about things anymore, you just live your life. And most importantly, love yourself. You have to treat yourself like you are in love with yourself, because how can you love others if you can't even love yourself? You have to learn how to love yourself. And one of the things to do is, treat your body like a temple, eat healthy stuff, make sure that you are in control of what thoughts occupy your head, make sure that you are in control of your emotions, because that all has a lot to do with your overall, ascension, because we're not just physical beings. We're electrical beings. We're, etheric beings. We're mental beings. We're emotional, astral. And you have to put everything into consideration. It's not just about the body. It's about every subtle aspect of yourself, things that you can't even see in the mirror, so that you could evolve in a very integrated wholeness, balanced way.
Beautiful, Ishmael. 1,000%. You're getting so much love in the chat, as you should. You got that Clark Kent look going on. I love it, Ishmael. Super soldier. I'm gonna go with Taylor and then Kristen. Taylor, any kind of healing advice for our soul tribe?
Yeah, honestly, not to ride Ishmael's coattails, but he really hit it with the self-love part, because at the end of the day, that is the hardest part, but it's also the most fulfilling part. And Sarah and I talk about this in our Twin Flames class that BA is going to join us to teach, that, the whole Twin Flame experience is finding somebody who is a reflection of you. And to reach somebody on that vibration means you have to elevate yourself in order to be worthy of that kind of divine union. So really, the Twin Flame journey is about doing the shadow work and ultimately raising your own vibration to a place of divinity as best as you can on the 3D plane, because the 3D aspect of it does matter. We're not trying to just transcend 3D. 3D carries with it lessons for what we're going to take into the next life, things that are going to affect our soul's evolution. But ultimately, it does come back to self-love first and foremost. And then from there, that vibration will change your community, then will change the planet.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I love that. And I want to hear more about this Twin Flame course before you guys leave. It sounds very intriguing. Kristen, I know I said that you wanted to go next. I'm going to have Soldier of Light go next.
Fine.
And so we hear from the Divine Masculine, and then the ladies wrap it up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Entertainment purposes only, of course. Soldier of Light.
I feel the biggest thing, like Ishmael, he beautifully said that, Taylor as well. Like we talk about this all the time, is it to start with you. You guys give your energy away so freely, and we forget to take it back. I also felt that Spirit wants to say that you guys need to set up a perimeter, your energy perimeter, and you kind of got to be vigilant about it and who you let into your energetic field and so forth. And then cutting ties and grounding yourself, I feel like is a big thing. And just releasing, as Ishmael said, releasing those things that hurt you. You know, a lot of things, even physical, whatever it might have been, mental. Once you're able to do that, and also release the part of the ego about what other people care or think about you or say about you, it only affects you if you allow it to affect you. So once you release that information or that feeling, and just releasing it, I feel like you'll be more empowered. Take your power back. Reground yourself, reroot yourself, and be a strong redwood tree that's humongous, has been here for so long. That's where I think it starts. You just got to start with yourself and be very vigilant about who you allow into your energetic field.
Yes.
Beautiful, Soldier of Light. And I'll be very transparent with the Soul Tribe as well as this panel. I couldn't have gotten to the place where I've gotten to, Soldier of Light, without your techniques, your healing, your advice. You're a brother to me. I'll always be grateful for you. You brought my alpha male back, Ishmael, Soldier of Light. So guys, follow Soldier of Light at his YouTube channel, Soldier of Light 786. We'll have that description or in the description of this video. Brother, epic stuff, epic information. Soul Tribe, if you guys need some help, guidance, Soldier of Light, couldn't go wrong with him. You guys know him, we love him. Kristen, you're gonna start off the Divine Feminine section, and then we're gonna go with BA and then Sarah Ashley.
I feel like all you men really covered it very well, very well. So I mean, you covered everything. Another big thing is about boundaries and letting go of the outcome of certain things, mostly everything. So just like keep your foot on the gas, let the universe steer it for you. Just let things be, let it play out. I think because all the readings I do, it's a trend. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen. What's going to happen in like 2 months, 2 weeks? How's this love life going to work out? Just let it be. Just let it ride. So I think that's something we all have to remember, to just let the universe take control. And once you let go, you'll see it coming actually towards you. So I don't know. That was just something that came to me to bring up.
I love it, Kristen. Beautifully said. BA.
Yeah, so my favorite saying is let go and let God. I just don't control things like I used to before. I used to be very much of a control freak, and I would always get in my own way when I would try to control different situations, control people in my life, control relationships. It just doesn't really end up working out. And I think we can probably all agree with that. And I also feel like a lot of us too are very much generational curse breakers. So that also ties into us setting up those boundaries, because we were here to do what our ancestors essentially couldn't do. And we do not have an easy job here, but we're all prepared to do it. And we're here to take on the tough tasks. And I'm very happy that my ancestors trusted me to be able to do this for my family lineage.
Yes. Beautiful.
Absolutely. 1,000%. Sarah Ashley.
Sure. So when we're on the topic of healing, a lot of us who are even listening on here are healers. And the best thing that a healer can do for themselves is, have that private time, have that quiet time to sit down with their own thoughts, with their own emotions, and figure out what's going on with us, because we can't heal anyone else unless we heal ourselves. It's so important to even have 10, 15 minutes a day of just quiet time, not just the shower, not just eating breakfast. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, but time to carve out just for ourselves and listen to our thoughts. It could be journaling, it could be talking to our guides, prayer, whatever you need to do. But we all need to be centered and grounded, or else we're not going to be able to continue on this work, and our third eyes won't be open the way that they should be. And this is when we start having bad judgment, when we're on that hamster wheel. It's what we try to warn everybody else who we do readings and healings for about. But if we're not going to take the time for ourselves, we can't be good to anybody else.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Soul Tribe, I mean, everyone is getting so much love. Taylor, Sarah, BA, Light, Ismael, Kristen, you guys are getting so much love in the chat. Our Soul Tribe absolutely is salivating at the mouth for this type of information, because it's so easy to get caught up in this rat race and going to work, doing this, doing that. Life gets in the way without taking that time to do that, inner work, taking that self time. Yeah, that's how you can get, back into that rat race, and things this lead to another thing, and then that's what happens. You don't ascend, and you don't do the inner work, and stuff happens. Kristen. Kristen, where do you want to go next, Kristen? Because we have a couple of topics to get to, but I want you to kind of dictate where this show goes as well.
I would like, while they're all here, especially Ismael too, if the Soul Tribe has any other questions that you want to take, super chats or anything.
Well,
because we have been waiting for him to come. Very exciting for weeks.
we want to have this panel on more often. I'm going to go ahead and say it right here, right now. I want to have this panel on more than just like once a month, because this is what it's about. It's about bringing high vibrational beings all together at one time, sharing ideas. Don't have to agree with everyone, but that's what we do. We raise vibrations, and that's how we're going to defeat the dark, deep cult. That's it.
Amen.
That's how you do it. We have the Queen of Raven. Shout out to Queen Raven. She's coming in on Tuesday. Ismael, what was your takeaway from the Truther event down in Anaheim? And I want to get Taylor's input as well as Sarah Ashley. I don't know if you went to the event.
No, I was there in spirit though, but I'll let them take hold of this.
Right. Ismael, and then we'll just hear from the panel. Kristen and I went there, as well as my little star seed. Ismael, what was one of the takeaways that you got from that Truther event?
Meeting you guys, and of course, Tarot by Janine. It was such a wonderful experience. I mean, the whole vibe, the whole time was amazing. I ended up going there last moment. I got a call from Tom Numbers that morning, Sunday morning, saying, "Hey, Ishmael, what are you doing this afternoon?" And I said, "No plans." He says, "Well, there's the Truther event over in Anaheim, and Janine's going to be there." And I said, "Oh, wow, I would love to meet her in person." But little did I know that you guys were also going to be there. So it was like a double surprise to meet everyone. And, I was a bit shocked, because I wasn't expecting to be, approached by so many people with wanting my signature and pictures and asking questions. And then, of course, they asked me to take the stage. And to me, that was just unexpected, but yet it was a blessing at the same time. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole time. It was a blessing meeting everyone.
No, it really was. You're so humble. You are a Starseed Galactic Commander Warrior, and you're so genuine. You're a lot taller than I expected. Same with Taylor. I'm like, man, what is this guy? 6'8"? Like, so tall. Ishmael, definitely, you're a rock star. People love you. You bring so much love and light, and it was an honor just to meet you in person, as well as take a picture with my little daughter. So absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
Love you.
Chẳng được quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không gần mới em anh nhận màu. Yeah, anh chỉ cần mong em bay. Chỉ còn là những cơn cơn mưa vô ra cho bên mưa em không mơ hay nhẹ anh một đêm mơ chỉ cho bên em không được còn nhớ và chỉ có em không còn nhớ và người ta bên nhau như ngã thơ muốn nhớ về say em chỉ có mấy em ở đây và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mãi mãi tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu không em như nằm ngâm màu anh như đêm mong cầu và mưa bên em hôn sầu chắc có mãi mãi em mơ chỉ có bên em nhưng đừng có mơ em vẫn đang dài em muốn bên ai anh không mong gì hơn chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau mà đừng em đâu anh có em muốn em bên nào đừng có em ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu ôm anh.
got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck, can't stop, unplug, feeling over